42. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to answer what that stands for. Alright, y'all done? It stands for Allen Iverson's career field goal percentage. How could a guy be viewed as one of the greatest scorers of all time when he's shooting 42% from the field? And recently I've seen a decent amount of people be aggressive on this stance that Allen Iverson is one of the most overrated players of all time, as he's viewed as one of the greatest scorers in history, yet shot so poorly. You have guys today like Russell Westbrook and James Harden getting ripped for averaging 44% from the field, but Allen Iverson is being glorified and is loved by everyone. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, am I right? People just want to romanticize the past when it really wasn't that good. That's crazy because I feel like we're actually doing the opposite as an NBA community. Now, I don't know the word for it, and here's footage of me literally looking up a word for it, but I'm gonna just call it the retweet syndrome. Retweet syndrome. Noun. Definition: when one finds a well-formatted and organized post on social media that quote-unquote exposes events of the past for being romanticized that spreads like wildfire, when in reality, they are very flawed arguments. If you like this video, I would gladly appreciate a like on it. Let's get this video to 2K likes. And also let me know in the comment section down below what you think Allen Iverson would do in today's NBA. But the retweet syndrome. I've seen it throughout social media the past year or so, and I'm not gonna lie, as an NBA YouTuber making the videos that I make, I am a part of it. You know, we always want the hot take. We always feel like we're spitting the truth. We feel like we're spitting facts and nothing but facts. You know what I'm saying? Numbers don't lie. But in reality, numbers do lie in the sense that people can portray them in such a way that takes so much context out of them just to prove a point. Now, the past couple years, advanced analytics and efficiency has been the craze around the NBA community. I mean, that's what it's all about now. Who cares if you're scoring if you're doing it inefficiently? That just means you're shot chucking or you're not that good. If you ain't shooting 45% from the field, you're an inefficient shot chucker. We've been spoiled by the likes of Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, guys that operate in the perimeter with all the moves in the world. They have ridiculous efficiencies. And here's the thing, for the most part, I do agree given the context of the situation. In today's NBA, spacing is the best it's ever been, giving perimeter scorers especially all the room to operate, with zone defense effectively being non-existent because of the emphasis on shooting. In a league without hand checking, with all the advanced training and nutrition that's available to these players, no, there's not a lot of legitimate excuses for you to be an inefficient shot chucker. But the problem lies in the people that try to extend this criticism past this era. And at face value, you look at these scorers from the early to mid 2000s and they start to look extremely suspect. Kobe struggling to average 45% in the playoffs, but apparently he's a top 3 scorer of all time? Inefficient shot chucker. Tracy McGrady, the man with all the moves and one of the most talented scorers of all time in his prime, shooting in the low 40s in his quote-unquote prime? Overrated. Inefficient shot chucker. Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Allen Iverson, bruh, these guys weren't as good as people make them out to be. But this right here, what I just said, is exactly why we have to put context into the situation. Hand checking was still allowed in the NBA up until 2005. Zone defenses was introduced in 2001, and the three-point shot was not as emphasized in the league back then. So let's put the whole situation into perspective. In the early to mid 2000s, perimeter players were tasked to score in a game where physical defense was allowed, with horrible spacing because of the lack of shooting from bigs, which made zone defenses and help defense so much easier. To give a visual of what I'm talking about, I actually streamed on Twitch yesterday of me reacting to some of the clips I saw on YouTube of Allen Iverson and comparing them to Isaiah Thomas. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's replay it, okay? Look at the spacing, look at the spacing. This guy cannot shoot. Cannot shoot. Bow. So AI is trying to go right here. VC helps. Cuts that off. But this guy is not a good enough shooter, so it doesn't even matter. He's fine. That's the kind of spacing these guys have to work with, bruh. Look at how much VC is helping. Look at how much VC is helping. See, even that, bro. Even that. Look at how much AI is helping. Look how much rim protection there is because these two bigs can't shoot. Come on. Alright. So the next clip I want to show y'all is how different it is in 2017 when teams around the league are averaging 27, 28 threes a game.
The Wizards tonight, TD Garden.
Look at that. Do y'all see? First play they show us. Look at the spacing. Look at the spacing.
It's 44, 34,
all the way, all the way. Spacing is so good. That man Marcin can't do shit, man. Right? This is probably the worst spacing we've seen. Right? And look how big of a difference having no spacing is. Marcus Smart cannot shoot. Terry Rozier, he's a threat now, but in general, like he was like a low 30s from 3 type of dude. So you can help off a little bit. But like look how much shooting makes a difference in spacing. Look how hard it is now for Isaiah Thomas to score because of the lack of spacing. Now he has to pull up over a 7-footer with 5 seconds remaining to get a shot off. Now IT, difficult ass shot, stopping on a dime. That's crazy. That's crazy. But the spacing, this is pretty much, this right here is what Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, T-Mac, Vince Carter was working with in the early 2000s. As you can see, the difference in spacing is so noticeable, and it's crazy how difficult it was for perimeter players to score back then. Lack of shooting helped driving to the rim so much harder, but at the same time, you didn't really need to focus on your three-point shot because defenders had so much confidence guarding you up, knowing that A, hand checking was allowed, and B, help defense would easily be on its way if you get blown by without risking a high percentage perimeter shot from a big. So when players like Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Vince Carter get this label of being an inefficient shot chucker, taking the most inefficient shot in basketball, which is the mid-range, and comparing them to the players of today, I'm seriously like, I'm just gonna laugh. And I've said this like so many times today, but there's just no context in the analysis. Because you have to realize that because of the way the game was played back then, scoring the way they did was pretty much the best way to score. And as soon as hand checking was removed in 05, you saw a lot of players have an increase in like 3 to 4% from the field. Some more noticeable than others, but it was clear that perimeter players were having an easier time scoring. And a guy like Steve Nash became a perennial 50, 40, 90 guy and was so effective because of it. These two eras had two different standards of efficiency. Shooting 45% in the early 2000s is much more impressive than shooting 45% from the field today. I am so sorry that it took this long to get to the point of the video. You know, the title says what would happen if Allen Iverson played in today's NBA. But in reality, like, I wanted to talk about 3 topics in this video. One is this gradual overrating of efficiency that I've seen in the community the past couple of years. Number 2 is the lack of context that goes into talking about numbers nowadays on social media. And number 3 is what the title suggests. How would the scorers of 2000s, specifically Allen Iverson, how would they do in today's NBA? Now again, specifically for Allen Iverson, I can legitimately see him averaging 30 points on 48% shooting from the field, 37% from 3, and 80% from the line. I know that sounds crazy. How can a guy that was struggling to hit 40% in a couple years, a guy that averages 42% in his career, suddenly just average 48% from the field and almost be like a 50-40 threat? Like, I think we're forgetting that we're legitimately only 2 years removed from seeing a 5'9" point guard average 29 points on really good efficiency. largely due to the spacing of the Celtics running a lineup that surrounded Isaiah Thomas with great defenders and threats from the three that made spacing easy for him. Let's say we take Ben Simmons out and replace him with Allen Iverson. Why couldn't Allen Iverson do the same thing Isaiah did in 2017, like every single year? Like, look at the spacing in these clips. Imagine Allen Iverson having this spacing in real life. And you know what's funny? As soon as the CPU subbed in this lineup on the court, look how much the floor shrank for Iverson. He has noticeably much less room to work with. In real life, he had less. And I know this is just 2K, but if you look up Allen Iverson highlights, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Also, I'm not trying to get a claim on this video, so, you know, let me live, man. Now, being a defensive liability, having chemistry problems, and ego problems are gonna be the main concerns with AI, and I don't think he would have won a championship in today's league either because of it. But as far as scoring ability goes, he and every elite quote-unquote inefficient scorer of the early 2000s would simply dominate the game today. Again, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get this video to 2K likes. And if you want to see future videos from this channel, go ahead and subscribe. As a matter of fact, go ahead into the description and click the first link, because if you subscribe through that link, you get entered to win a free copy of NBA 2K19. It is a giveaway I'm doing for 100K, because I appreciate all the love that y'all give to the channel. But with that being said, I'm out. Peace.